Matt, Adam, Cassie, Mark. Obviously, some of you know us, some of you don't. So thanks for joining. We wanted to take the time to just go through the dealer incentive program and just really thank you guys for what you've done over the years and trying new frontiers to kind of do some new things and really help our dealer network out. Obviously, you know, with Melanie, Chad, and Mark being your dealer reps, helping you guys on a day-to-day basis. This is just another avenue, another step for us to help incentivize and really reward you guys for the hard work that you do. So beginning of the year, Trackchair brand relaunched. Adam and Cassie did a great job on that. Obviously, there's a lot of cool stuff that's out there, and we'll get that stuff replaced. And Adam will talk about that later in the presentation. But yeah, the main reason for today is to talk about the dealer incentive program that you should have received an email, kind of giving a baseline for each one of you, what your tier is and what you're doing. And then we'll talk today. Just give a little more detail to make sure we had some good questions come back from individual dealers or back to the dealer reps. And we just wanted to clarify and answer that for everybody. At the end, we'll also summarize kind of some of the upcoming dates and what's going on, and then open it up to any questions. So again, if anybody has anything, this is recorded. We'll put it out in the dealer portal after the meeting for those that didn't make it. But if you have something to go back on, you can always go back to the video and look at it, or reach out to your dealer rep and let them know what you're thinking. So with that said, we'll jump into the slide structure.
Morning, everybody. Can everybody see the presentation and hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So let's hop in. Like Matt said, we're going to clarify and just go over what was sent out yesterday. The introduction of a dealer incentive program, which will start retroactively January 1st, 2026, and run through the end of the calendar year. So it's really two programs built into one, where there's quarterly bonuses and goals and an annual bonus and goal. Structure, 4-tier structure. So the main feedback we've got was the PDFs that I sent out didn't have the dealer tier directly listed, which I apologize for. We'll fix that for future communication, but you can discern what tier you're at by finding your goal and then using this table or table 2 to figure out on an annual basis what your 3-year average for a unit sold would be. So your 2026 goal, you're going to be a tier 2 dealer. If you have any further questions, you can ask those in dealer rep, and we can just tell you too. The annual goal is based on a 3-year average plus 1. So we took historical data that we have at the factory, which is based off of the invoice date, and then broke it down by quarter. So your quarterly goal is a 3-year average of what you did in that respective quarter. So quarter 1 would be 2024, or 2023, 2024, and 2025 quarter 1's average together. And then the annual goal is those sums, quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4 added together, and plus 1. Everything is rounded up to the whole number, the nearest whole number. We did have some questions for tier 4 dealers that I should clear up. But the minimum quarterly goals for a dealer would be 1 each quarter, and then an annual goal of 5. Some tier 4 dealers did receive some PDFs with zeros. So no, if you sell 0 and you meet your goal, you're not going to get the bonus. So we'll clean that up and fix that moving forward too. So any questions on this slide? Hearing none, we'll move on to some of the rules. Again, with this being a new program, we're open to feedback and should be pretty fluid with any potential changes or somebody's joining us.
Hi, it's Wendy.
Okay, so you go there automatically. Hi, Wendy. Okay, rules. Yeah, again, the formula is right there, which I covered in the last slide. So you can look at item number 1 and A, B, C, and D. Again, item number 3 or rule 3, units are tallied based on the invoice date. Units are invoiced when the production of that unit has been completed and ready to ship. So when you place an order in the dealer portal, it's not going to be that date. It's going to be based off the invoice date. And so all of our historical data is using that. So we're going to be consistent with that. So just something to note as you enter the last 4 to 6 weeks of Q1, Q2, whatever it is, that if you put an order in the dealer portal within that last 4 weeks, it's probably going to be on the following quarter, not that quarter. So just something to note as we enter into the first quarter of this program. We will have, though, to kind of combat that, if you're really close or on the fringe of a quarterly goal, we will always have 4 to 5 seated chairs in the build sheet that are ready to be invoiced and are already built that we can assign to you, invoice out, and ship out. So normally that's comprised of 2 Axis 30s and 2 Axis 40s. Do we have any legacy chairs ever?
Sometimes we'll have an ST in there, but.
So make note of that if you are close to a goal. We do want to get you guys bonuses as much as we can. So it's kind of the whole goal of the program. Rule 5, only the highest multipliers paid out. So once you reach like the second multiplier and then a third multiplier, you don't get paid on the second and the third, you just get paid on your highest. Incentives will be issued as a dealer credit on your Trackchair account and must be used the following quarter. Credits may be used for parts or future Trackchair orders. We did discuss apparel. We're going to close down apparel for now and just have it for parts and chairs. Rule 7, quarterly goals, annual goals, and tier status will be recalculated and reviewed at the end of each calendar year, just from a tracking standpoint, just to make it pretty seamless and easy for us to track. It is something we could potentially be open to changing in the future. If a dealer has a really good Q1, do they get promoted to the next tier? We'll kind of take that as a case by case basis, but for now, for this trial period, we'll just state it at the end of the calendar year. We'll review it. So independent fund track chairs do not count towards quarterly or annual incentives, and then used units that you guys would buy, sell within your dealership will not be counted as well.
Norm had a question I'll answer real quick on the previous slide.
Okay.
I think slide 2. He was asking what a seated chair is, and that's just terminology for a chair we have put into the dealer portal that is being built as a possible inventory chair for whoever grabs it. So it's basically just a chair that's already being built that no one has claimed yet.
Factory lingo there, thanks. So if there are any other questions, we can just run through a few scenarios and then take questions, and we have a couple other reminders that we would talk about. But scenario 1, ABC dealer is a tier 2 dealer with a 3-year Q1 average of 6 units. If that dealer sells 12 units in the first quarter, they would exceed their goal by 6 and therefore qualify for a $1,200 bonus, which you see highlighted in green there. So pretty basic scenario of quarterly goal of 6, you exceed it by 6, you get the 4th multiplier paid out. scenario 2, which is a little bit different from what's posted in the PDF that was emailed to you. And thanks to Melanie, I did clarify this just because my scenario didn't really make sense from a number standpoint. But ABC dealer is a tier 1 dealer, has a Q1 goal of 4, a Q2 goal of 6, Q3 goal of 8, and a Q4 goal of 6, which would add up to 24. But going back to our formula of 24 plus 1 for your annual goal would be 24 plus 1, which would reach 25 for the annual goal. So that dealer sells 10 in Q1, 12 in Q2, 6 in Q3, and 5 in Q4. So in Q1, they exceeded their goal by 6, which is 1,600. Q2, they exceeded it again by 1,600 bonus. In Q3, Q4 did not meet their bonus or their goals, so nothing was paid out. But at the end of the year, they exceeded their annual bonus or goal by, keep saying that, exceeded their annual goal by more than 6. So another 1,600 paid out, which is 4,800 total. So you can kind of take that scenario and put it into terms of what your respective dealership is looking at and see what you may fall in line with for a scenario. So questions on a scenario that involves quarterly and the annual bonus? Tracking. Tracking will do a kind of a standings that will tabulate and post monthly to the dealer portal. I think the plan as of right now is to bucket and do standings per tier. So other dealers within your tier, you'll see where you fall in line if we want to go about that way. It'll just be units. I don't plan on breaking it out into models. We certainly can, but so note that we'll probably, like I said, at the bare minimum, post it to the dealer portal within the support tab. We'll try our best to email out individually. It just gets to be a little tedious and cumbersome sending out 45 emails to individual dealers.
And you can reach out to your dealer rep at any time. They'll have access to the information. So feel free.
Yeah. Again, like I stated earlier, program start date January 1st, 2026. All units and metrics are based off invoice date. That's the biggest one. So again, invoice date is when the chair is done, built, and ready to ship.
So in other words, some of the chairs that you may have ordered in December that didn't ship until January, those are going to count toward this program.
Bonus. If there's no questions on the incentive program, just a few reminders that we have been communicating quite a bit more than we traditionally have, which has been a goal of ours. We do have a newsletter that we're going to send out and continue to send out, but we do have all that communication coming through our marketing at atzmanufacturing.com email, which I think has found its way to a lot of people's junk mail. So please check that. Most of our factory-wide announcements and just general all calls will come from that. So we'll try your best to mark that as safe and get that into your inbox. We have sent out a number of communications for Trackchair University, which will be held in April. We have quite a few RSVPs for that. So thank you for those who have filled that out. We're excited to see you. If you haven't yet, please go do that as soon as possible. We do have some things that we would like to order. And then meals specifically, we want to get a good head count for hospitality's sake and get that all squared away. Jim has agreed to, and we have agreed to cover one room for 3 nights for lodging. Rest of the travel costs will be responsible for you. entertainment both nights. You can speak to that.
Yeah, so we, again, I think if you were joined us last time, we had a great entertainment with the dueling pianos. So we're bringing them back again for one night of entertainment. And then if people know Nick Vujicic, he's the gentleman that has no arms, no legs, and no limits is the book that he's written. Very well-renowned speaker, travels the world, does a great job, and he's committed to come to us on the first night. So on Tuesday night, it'll be Nick speaking after dinner. And then on Wednesday night, we'll have the dueling pianos entertaining us and including you in that on Wednesday night. So we're super excited. Yeah, everybody that can join, we really are excited. Just lots of good things going on. Every time anybody comes to the factory, we always gain a lot of knowledge from you, and we hope you take a lot away from us. So it's good to be face to face.
The first day, we're going to try to spend as much time together as a group as, rooms and how many people we get to the space as much as possible. The first day will be spent at the arena in town, which both entertainment nights will be spent there. And then the day 2 will be here at the factory. So there will be coffee and rolls or donuts every morning, and then lunch and dinner will be provided as well, just so as you're planning for the day. We're also working on content and nailing down the agenda for that. So please provide feedback of what you want to see and hear. We want to make this as much beneficial for you guys as possible. So let us know what you guys want to learn, see, touch, all that stuff.
And then a reminder, obviously, on the back end of this, that Thursday, if your entertainment will end Wednesday night, 8, 9 o'clock. So if you're staying overnight and you want to get home, completely understand, but just know that the invite is extended to have separate meetings on Thursday at the factory with any of us as staff, and come back to the factory on Thursday as well. So.
Last 2 reminders would be the marketing survey or the material survey. We've got a lot of dealers that have filled that out, so thank you. If you haven't, please let us know what you have. Again, just to reiterate, you guys are in the clear for using a current Action Trackchair or Trackchair related branding until June 1st. Really want to use Trackchair University to be the last all call to just get rid of and start pitching stuff, and then using that last month as just a grace period. We're working on a number of different things from the digital logo kit. We'll get you that, banners, all that kind of stuff. And then the last reminder is that apparel store closes Sunday. So if you haven't yet ordered some Trackchair swag, please go do that. If you have any questions on how much your dealership has for a credit, please let your dealer rep know, or just reach out to Cassie or I or Matt, and we'll let you know.
I had a question about, presented to me about brochures. The last round of brochures did remove the word action. So the brochures that you have are okay.
Yes.
We will be updating those, of course, to add new logos and so forth. But just so you know, they follow the rules of not having the word action in there.
Yes. Yep. Thanks for the clarification, Donnie. Yeah, the brochures are all good to go, even past that June 1st date, but they'll have they're compliant from a marketing standpoint, but it is the old logo. Same with the website. So a lot of stuff going on that we're trying to get done as quickly as possible. I don't know. And then the other thing that we are working on is spec sheets for each model. So that'll be posted, dealer portal. It'll be on the front facing website for customers to download as well. But we'll also have those 2 dealers. It's just a helpful 1-pager for each model of dimensions, all the different things that make it pretty easy to present to a customer. You could even use it as a quasi order sheet if you wanted to. So those are in the home stretch and ready to cross the finish line. So Anything else?
Everyone should have gotten a new safety form in their email, and it is maybe in the support portal now.
Yes. We're working on, with our developer to create a tab within the dealership. When you go in and log into the dealer portal of your dealership, to be able to place documents there. So we can post, tabulations, goals, your dealer contract, any higher level documents would go in there, so.
And we are working on an issue that Chris McElwain brought to our attention yesterday. So if anybody has employees in their dealership that you're monitoring or setting up or removing, we found that there's a small issue there. So again, thanks, Chris, for bringing that to Mark's attention, and we're working on that with our programmers. So if anybody else is having a similar issue, just know that it's being worked on as we speak.
That's it for us.
Just gonna close with a positive note too, with what, so Jim has been, traveling to DC and really in the last year, we've advocated for ourselves for veterans, for anybody in the disabled community. And they were actually at a Senate VA, hearing yesterday and got to be on the record for, why people should be able to use adaptive equipment and it should be covered by VAs. And we're making a really good headway. And again, I had a conversation with Wendy this morning on a VA she's dealing with. And I just want you guys to know that we have a voice and we want you to have a voice. So please bring anything up to your dealer reps that you see as an issue you're seeing in any avenue that we can bring back to the factory. And at this point, bring it back to DC. I mean, we're making good inroads. We have a lot of representation across the nation. I mean, who doesn't want to jump on board with what we're doing? I mean, it's a great story. We're helping a lot of people and it's all because of you guys. So just know that, Jim's invested. He's there right now, flying home today. That was all day yesterday. They were in meetings with all different representations and it was just, really successful. So continue to see that striving forward. And when you're here, that'll be part of the discussions of some of the things that we're doing and helping, whether it's on funding or getting people money to buy these things. Again, so just, thank you guys for that. And just know that Jim extends, that's why he's not here. He's on a plane coming back from DC right now. Otherwise he would be present at this meeting. So with that said, if there's no other questions, we can.
Question about one.
Yeah, again, reach out to Chad, Melanie, Mark, your dealer rep, if you have anything as well, and any of us are available. But thanks for taking the time out of your guys' day and joining the meeting.
Thank
and
you.
we'll look forward to this.
Thank you.
Thank you.